Did these dream tenants
We actually wanted to own the house.
escape a nightmare?
There was dogs which urinated all over the whole house.
No, sir, that is not true.
All rise for Judge Joe Brown. Whoa! Experience, knowledge, and a passion for the truth.
I'm protecting womanhood and promoting manhood.
Bringing no-nonsense justice to Americans everywhere.
If you listen, you may learn something.
It's time for Judge Joe.
A stinky rug creates a hairy situation for some tenants and their landlord. Plaintiffs Alenka and Sean Hartung are suing their former landlord for a security deposit. Defendant Patricia Barmer says the plaintiffs left without cleaning. Now it's Joe time.
Mr. and Mrs. Hartung, is that Hartung or Tung?
Hartung, sir.
Hartung. You're suing Miss Barmer, and Miss Barmer was your former landlord. You say that she will not return your security deposit. Let's see, Miss Barmer, you say that they left their lease 2 months early, and you say that all of this is a dodge by the plaintiffs because they were trying to buy a home on a short sale and they found another that was more attractive to them. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Which one of you two wants to go first?
I'll go ahead and
All
start,
right,
Your
sir.
Honor. Good morning. We actually had my daughter, she became pregnant.
That's your stepdaughter.
That is correct. And
she is what, 19-year-old. Okay.
yeah, so it became a health issue with her. She kept getting sick. Let me rewind a little bit. Prior to us moving in there was dogs in the house which urinated all over the whole house and ate holes in the carpet. Due to that, we had the carpet cleaned several times by the defendant and by myself out of my pocket, trying to get rid of the odor.
Now, hold on one point. Now, let's see. You do acknowledge that the previous occupants had 2 pit bulls that they had.
They had urinated on the carpet, and I haven't been over there myself, but I understood it did smell quite badly.
Now, do you live in the same state?
Yes, California.
All right,
Yes.
keep going.
And to continue with my story, Your Honor, we like I said, we tried several times to get the carpet clean. Well, it turns out that my daughter kept getting sick, and we couldn't pinpoint what it was, and they finally realized it was due to the pet dander. With that being said, with her having a baby, we had her move out with other family members to get her, in the condition she needs to be to have the baby.
The lease was executed and the move-in was accomplished late middle of January year before last. Is that right?
Yeah, it was a month early that we requested. And in addition to what that being said, we agreed to show the property, help show the property, and get a new renter. And I specifically...
Okay, now hold on one second. You left in November
30th.
That's 2 months early.
Your Honor, actually, she asked us to move out. I wrote the letter and I sent it out that we were going to move out because of the issues and the problems that were going on, and the fact that it was a short sale. She would not sell it to us to the appraised value. So I told her, okay, well, we don't have the money to fix the carpet. You don't have the money. So we need to get somebody in here to actually rent it. So we made sure that we showed the property. I even gave her a couple of numbers that people were even offering her to buy the property.
You're a real estate broker as
yes, I am.
Occupation.
Correct. And then she just said, okay, well, you know what? I found somebody, so I need you guys out by the next day. She said, perfect. We said, okay, perfect. We'll move out tomorrow. Because we didn't want her to hold our deposit because we knew that she had financial problems for the past 3 years. She had lost 2 homes. So we did not want her to keep our money. So we did everything possible for her to get somebody in there and not to claim that she was losing rent money. She never lost any rent money, and the property was in better condition than when we moved in. We did the yard, we did the front yard, we cleaned it more than when we moved in. We even complained when we moved in that it was dirty.
Well, I have, interestingly enough, 2 sets of walkthroughs, one when you moved in and one when you moved out. And looking at both of them, it looks like the property was left in a better condition than you found it when you occupied it initially.
No, sir, that is not true.
That's from your agent.
Your Honor, that is not true. I believe you have the pictures and a letter
No, hold on. I'm just saying apparently you had somebody managing this property for you. Is that correct?
I did.
All right, now, if I'm looking at this as conducted and endorsed by your representative, the second one shows the place was better than it was when they moved in.
And Your Honor, we did. We actually had intentions of buying the house. We treated it better than any renter. We took care of the landscaping. As you see some pictures, we took out all the weeds. We did, hot water blankets on there. We changed the filter to the house several times to try to get the smell out. We did, a great deal of improvements out of our pocket, which we never complained or asked for money back from that. We actually wanted to own the house.
It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home near the beach down in the San Diego area, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir. It's an oceanside. It's a beautiful property, 2 blocks from the beach, with a third viewing deck at the Pacific Ocean. It's a beautiful unit. It was formerly worth like $1.2 million back before the real estate market fell.
What were the problems that you say the plaintiffs are responsible for?
They just didn't clean. They didn't do any damage to the unit. They just didn't clean the unit before they moved out. If you see the pictures, you can see a lot of hair around the baseboards. You can see the granite in the kitchen and the dirty rag there with dirt on it, showing how dirty it was.
Your Honor, we did have somebody come in and clean it.
Well,
I've got pictures.
I think you have the same problem that she has, the defendant. Somebody that got paid good money to take care of something didn't take care of it, and you didn't go back to inspect it. I see the pictures.
And Your Honor, with that being said, we never were ever, sent in writing any type of cleaning bill or any type of thing that she wanted done in a timely manner.
You left.
What is that?
Well, like,
okay,
follow the rule.
hold on.
We'll be right back with Judge Joe Brown.
I don't like to rent my properties with somebody with a bankruptcy. I'm not sure if I'm going to get my income in, my rental income in or not. So I had to get a tenant in there. They broke 2 leases with me.
And later today,
Have you done the exercise routine,
Yes, I have, sir.
as she said?
Well, she's no longer my trainer, so.
I understand.
No, sir. We were on the telephone, and she was telling me that she was dissatisfied with her body, and she asked me if I had anything natural that would give her a jump start, a natural fat burner.
It's Joe time after this.
we're back with Judge Joe Brown. The plaintiffs in this case say they cared for their landlord's property as if it were their own. They say they had to move before the end of the lease because the rug was so dirty it was making their pregnant daughter sick. Let's get back to the case.
The problem with the upstairs carpeting is because, as you acknowledged, without your notice, 2 tenants violated their lease. Well, previous tenant or tenants violated the lease by having 2 pit bulls in the place. That's not their fault, and they complained about that. And as a matter of fact, your walkthrough notes that, and it's supposed to be repaired.
I understand.
Well,
that.
it was not, and though I would say that your 19-year-old would, I hope, have a husband to go see, but in this day and time, that just doesn't happen anymore. So there you are with the daughter around the place. She's suffering allergies from the previous 2 dogs, and you don't want the kitty that's to be arrived running around hands and knees through the bad carpeting. The only way you're going to clean that up, get rid of that, is to get rid of the carpet and the matting underneath it and completely replace it.
Exactly. That's why I offered to replace their carpeting.
Well, it didn't get done, and the bottom line is as you say, they had other objectives. She's a real estate agent. She's trying to take a real estate broker. Hold on, that's what you say. I'll take that. But let's put it this way. Were you prepared at the time to take the carpet up?
Yes, sir.
Put in new matting and new carpeting?
Yes, sir.
Have you done that since?
No, I haven't. It was professionally
well,
cleaned
then,
by the new
you haven't
tenants.
done it. Now, if you had, I'd have said okay. But you see, they have a legitimate excuse. The initial walkthrough says this is to be fixed. They're in there for 11 months, and it is not fixed. I asked you the specific question, did I not? Has this carpet been replaced? You said, no, not yet, because. Well, you see, it develops that a person they were having under their roof, then 17 going on 18-year-old daughter, stepdaughter, had an allergy problem. So they didn't know that. That's reflected in a rather expeditiously bringing that to your attention
That is
at
a
the
ruse to
beginning
get
of the
out of
lease.
this
You're out
because
of there, but I'm letting you add a $300 for the cleanup because their representative didn't do the best job.
They found a property they wanted to buy. That's exactly what it says in there. They broke 2 leases with me.
You didn't suffer any harm. They may have broken it, but you got an immediate tenant.
No.
You suffered no loss in leasehold income.
Your
Therefore,
Honor,
in the deal. Done.
Your Honor, please.
No.
One more thing. Just one more thing.
Ma'am,
One more thing. What is it?
Just one more
No,
thing.
the argument-
No, I'm letting it.
Just one more thing.
What?
I had to find a tenant in there very quickly. The tenants I got in had a bankruptcy. You know, I don't like to rent my properties with somebody with a bankruptcy. I'm not sure if I'm going to get my income in, my rental income in or not. So I had to get a tenant in there. I got somebody in there with a bankruptcy. I'm not comfortable with that. I did not have enough time to get a really good, I usually get a credit rating on people. I make sure they got good credit, they pay their rent in the past. I didn't get that.
I will let you keep $300 of the $2,900, so you get a refund of $2,600 on your deposit.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You can see
You're
in the
out
letter,
of here. That's it.
You can
$2,600 in your
Thank you, Your
recovery.
Honor.
You get to keep $300.
You can
And
see
this
in
carpet
the
is
letter.
now in because, ma'am, go ahead and exit straight ahead to you.
Well, you can't sweep the truth under the rug. The defendant did not live up to her terms of the lease, and she suffered no harm. Reduced judgment for the plaintiffs. Now we're on to the next case.
Please raise your right hand.
Certified personal trainer Daniel Bryan is suing a former client for services rendered. Defendant April South says the products never worked.
Ms. Bryant, you're suing Ms. South, and you are alleging that she had a personal training agreement with you, a contract that she has breached, and also she has not repaid you for a heart rate monitor.
Yes, sir.
And various nutritional supplements that you provided to her with the understanding that she would pay.
Yes, sir.
Ms. South, your defense to these things is classic. You say they didn't work, so you don't know. You first, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge Joe. We met on May 2009 at a gym that I was currently employed at as a personal trainer and group exercise instructor. The defendant approached me one night after I had finished training a group of ladies, and she introduced herself, and she said that she was currently working with a trainer that she wasn't satisfied with the service. And she asked me if I had room on my schedule. And I said, sure, absolutely. And so we started training like immediately. Soon after that, we started talking about a heart rate monitor and all of the benefits that it brings. I sent her the information via email with the price and everything. She told me the one that she wanted and the color, and then I went ahead and ordered it.
And the vitamin supplements?
And the vitamin supplements came
Or
later.
nutritional supplements?
Yes, sir. It's basically a natural fat burner. We were on the telephone, and she was telling me that she was dissatisfied with her body, and she asked me if I had anything natural that would give her a jump start. I told her about the supplement. I also told her that it's not just going to work all by itself. We went through exactly what she needed to do as far as maintaining her exercise and diet. Supplements don't work all by themselves. It's a waste of time. So I explained all that.
They haven't invented it yet.
Exactly.
Somebody ought to invent fake food that tastes real good and not 1 calorie in it and 0 nutritional value, so you can enjoy the taste and lose weight as you reasonably exercise without everybody being so concerned about nutrition. But anyway, I understand. So you've made out a basic case now, Madam Defendant.
Hi.
You have the
Judge
floor.
Brown. I purchased the supplements from her, and Danielle did mention that I would have to follow a routine diet, which I felt that I somewhat did.
Somewhat did.
Yeah, somewhat. And
the devil's in the details.
Always.
and the supplements didn't work. I still have half of a bottle left, and they weren't.
There is nothing they have available that all by itself will cause you to miraculously shed pounds.
No, it wasn't going to happen, and some of the side effects made me very jittery as well. So.
Oh yeah, you got lots of energy. It ramps your metabolism up. So when you exercise, you burn the calories very quickly instead of trying to store them. You're also probably have been instructed to eat regularly during the day, which sounds counterintuitive. So you graze a lot of light meals and exercise. And
6 times.
So there you go. Have you done the exercise routine?
Yes, I have, sir.
As she said?
Well, she's no longer my trainer, so.
I understand.
No, sir.
Now, congratulations up front, Case. I don't hear about you afterwards, you know. But see, she's 8.5 months pregnant, and she's working out, and it shows. And you don't work out as hard.
Well, no, I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
We'll be back with more Judge Joe Brown in a moment.
When Danielle had sold me the monitor, we had problems setting it up. The manufacturer company then told her that that item had been discontinued.
Closed captioning sponsored by.
We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The defendant in this case says her trainer's workout and supplement plan didn't work. She admits to following it somewhat and still feels it failed her. Let's hear what Judge Joe has to say.
Now, the heart rate monitor, in addition to the chest strap or the monitoring device, what's the problem with the monitor?
When Danielle had sold me the monitor, we had problems setting it up. So the manufacturer that she purchased it from, she got in contact with them to find out why she was having some glitches with it. The manufacturer company then told her that that item had been discontinued, and that since she had already input my information, that there was no way for them to be able to return the product and to replace it with a new one.
But I mean, they fended her off, but she was buying it for you. Now, some of them are intuitive. You just look at it and you say, okay, this is probably what this is for, and it turns out that's what it's for. It is easy. Some of the rest of them have some rather complex instructions. If you read the instructions, it's not hard to do it. The first word of workout is work. The only way you're gonna get what you want is to work hard at it. Motivation.
Well, that's exactly why she hired me. Motivation.
Judge Joe Brown makes his ruling after this.
Did you waste love and loot on a loser? Call 1-877-JOE'S-LAW or visit judgejoebrown.com.
You sign the agreement, you're in the agreement, you're bound with it for the duration of the agreement. Even if you don't complete it, you still have to pay. So you owe her for services rendered as your trainer. You owe her for the heart rate monitor, and you owe her for the supplements. Feel better?
I do, Judge.
And if you do,
Thank you.
the application, you'll feel a lot better too. $483 in the cost, and that'll be the award.
And this courtroom is now in recess.
The plaintiff offered physical fitness. The defendant gave her a financial workout, so the judge was called upon to do the heavy lifting. A deal's a deal. Plaintiff wins. We'll be right back. We're back. There is more than one type of personal training. The plaintiff tried to get the defendant physically fit. The judge got her morally fit. Even if the defendant didn't shed the pounds, there's a deal. She has to shed the dollars. To submit your case to Judge Joe Brown, to download sample documents, or to find out how the law can work for you, go to judgejoebrown.com.